Welcome to some random gibberish rant, whatever you want to call this, in regards to the March 11th main event match, which featured a gauntlet match, which featured people in a gauntlet match. Helps if I could, string my words together to construct proper sentences. Sami Zayn was reportedly, legitimately off script, upset when speaking to Booker T. Again, you can read this with the link down below in the description box to credit where I'm getting this information from, where Booker T said that he was upset with the fans' reaction because most people were rooting for Chad Gable. Now, for WrestleMania, I believe timing is everything because there's got to be a proper story build-up. And again, I'm not Dave Meltzer, I'm not Vince Russo, I'm not Paul Heyman. I'm not like a pro wrestling analyzer. I just share my thoughts. I've been a fan of wrestling and I've been watching the product for literally over 4 decades. I have a little bit of experience, but again, that means nothing. Opinions are opinions. Whether this was my first wrestling exposure or my 10,000th show, it doesn't really matter. My thoughts are just that, my own, and they're subjected to being discriminated against if you want to do that. I feel like this is actually going to be a compliment, what I'm going to say about Sami Zayn about this. This is not The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Okay? Well, actually, it kind of is, in that there can only be one winner at the end. Not everybody can get a rose at the ceremony. I only know from what I've been told how The Bachelor and Bachelorette work. I don't watch that stuff. And then the girls and the guys, they cry, I thought I was the one. I thought the people loved me. I said, great. They did and do. But only one can make it to the end. This isn't some religious thing where you can have multiple wives. Okay? Only one can win. And right now, in this very moment, between the feud with Gunther, Sami isn't the right guy. But that's not an insult. That's actually a compliment. You see, Sami Zayn is a 3-time Intercontinental Championship, whereas Chad Gable is a 3-time, I think, including NXT, tag team champion. Chad Gable has never held a singles title. Chad Gable abso-fucking-lutely deserves and needs a singles title run. And Gunther at Mania is the proper venue to showcase and display that story. It's like literally not up for debate. Sami Zayn winning it, to be honest with you, does nothing to elevate Sami Zayn. It doesn't bring him up. Now, Elimination Chamber 2023 in Montreal when he faced Roman Reigns, that was some wild shit. That would have been Sami Zayn's moment to capture that title from Roman Reigns, and I would have been all over that, supporting that. Okay? Had Chad Gable come in, had anybody else come in, I would have been to the back of the line, bitch. It's not your time. It's not so much that it's not his time. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's just more so Chad's time. Sami is actually, in my opinion, actually above the Intercontinental Championship. In my opinion. He's actually ready for something bigger than that. I really don't think this would elevate Sami whatsoever from a scripted perspective, of course. It would do nothing for his character, but it would do so much more for Chad. And furthermore, on top of that, it's just been touted. It's been built up. The whole Gunther versus Chad Gable. They've already wrestled, took him to his limit, probably closer than anybody else. Have we ever had a Sami Zayn versus Gunther match? One-on-one? Okay. But then Sami Zayn was able to do the gauntlet match and get through all the competitors. which was impressive. Don't get me wrong. It was believable. I just feel like they really screwed up here. Give Chad Gable the title. Well, don't give it to him. I mean, he earned it is what I'm saying. Gunther had his show. Longest reigning heavyweight intercontinental champion of all time. That is probably not going to be outdone for generations to come. That absolutely, with Chad Gable dethroning Gunther, just puts Chad Gable, it skyrockets him big time. It really, really does. It elevates his character, and I believe in wrestling, you have to be able to, within reason, have everybody, somewhat kind of balanced in a way. Right now, Chad Gable is kind of here. I'm not talking from a skills or potential, or not talking from a skills perspective or a potentials perspective. I just mean from a story scripted perspective. Chad Gable's here. Sami Zayn's here. Give Chad the belt. He comes up here with Sami. But if you give Sami the belt, he still stays here. He does not elevate. So just, it makes no sense to me. Plus, like I said, the whole story, you made my daughter cry, blah, blah, blah. Right? There's like a little bit of a history there already brewing. There's a backstory. There's no backstory between Gunther and Sami Zayn. There's just nothing, which is what some people were saying before with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, except that there is a huge history. When Cody Rhodes came back and tried to finish the story the first time, Roman Reigns, don't forget, real cousin of The Rock, has met Dusty Rhodes in the past, and all this, has spoken to him. Like, there was some literal, legitimate buildup for an actual story there, and it made sense. And it's always made sense to me personally. This one just doesn't make sense. And again, what also doesn't make sense, not to challenge how somebody feels, but this is not an insult. Like I said, this is not because we don't want Sami to win. We're not upset that he won. We're upset that Chad didn't win. There's a difference. There's a difference. We're not upset with Sami. It's okay for him to win, just not in this specific moment. That's all there is to it. I think Sami is capable of more. I really, really do. And so that's why I don't think he's the right man for the job, because he's actually above that. A compliment, not an insult. Now, naturally, I feel bad that Sami was allegedly, supposedly, reportedly, visibly, truly upset over the fans kind of going, oh, we were hoping Chad was going to win. Don't take it personally. I don't know if he really did, because again, I wasn't on that flight to Orlando. We can only go by what Booker T, the 5-time, had to say about it. But don't forget, he also hinted that there was almost kind of not really a run-in altercation at NXT with CM Punk, and we found out that it ended up being abso-fucking-lutely nothing. He almost made something out of nothing and was actually going on about the fans. Watch them run with this. Well, you almost gave us a reason to think that there was something to run with it, and there ended up being nothing there whatsoever. Right? And that to me is not a good look, because we know, and I'm a huge CM Punk stan. Like, I mean, I'll stand with him until the ends of time. He's had some run-ins in the back, in the past. Okay? He's very vocal, right? We know CM Punk. Some of us love him to death, and some of us absolutely loathe him. When you come up with a little almost happened, it makes us think, uh-oh, is this another Samoa Joe CM Punk incident? And then, like I said, we find out that nothing came of it. Nothing came to fruition from that situation whatsoever. And then it had people talking about literally nothing. So because of that, I love me some Booker T. Okay? I take with a grain of salt as a result what he said about this. Was he really upset or not? Or just kind of, maybe he didn't really care, because I'd like to think that Sami Zayn is well aware, like I said, just like with The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, only one person can go through. And then if you win, you get that rose at the ceremony, and some people are disappointed. It's not because they don't like you. It's because they don't necessarily fit that you're the best potential spouse for the other potential spouse. Not necessarily the best match for one another. Right? Like I said, in closing for the 10,000th time, Chad Gable versus Gunther, maybe versus Brock Lesnar, but at WrestleMania, to me, is what's right for business. It's what's best for business. And I could see Sami Zayn eventually challenging for the coveted World Wrestling Entertainment, no, just the heavyweight championship belt. Never mind me trying to get all fancy, because I almost got sidetracked and said the WWF heavyweight champion. Yeah, no, this ain't the 80s. He's obviously not going to see this, but that's okay. Like I said, this was actually a compliment. And maybe a lot of the people that are upset, disappointed that he won, including myself, may actually feel the same way, because they think he's capable of more. What do you think about that? I think I'm going to end it here, because I'm starting to slowly repeat myself. My name's not The Rock. I'm more like a fucking mountain. I move. Well, mountains don't usually, but I move. I don't just stand still and repeat the same fucking shit. That made sense to me in my head. It's not supposed to make any sense for you, and I'm not even going to bother editing this out, because it just makes it that much more like, oh my god, what the hell is this? This is a train wreck. This is why this guy could never be on live TV. It's okay to have a few Michael Cole moments. But unlike The Rock, like I said, I like to keep moving, change things up, and not keep repeating myself like I'm starting to do again. So I'm going to end it here. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm and trying to make me relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up on the internet. And if you didn't like the video, well, that's okay. That's okay. Give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, and I'll solo Sakoan spike you in the ass. Just to clarify, with your own thumb, not mine. I'm not into that. Okay, not into that. I'm not into that butt stuff like The Rock is, because he's always going on about the candy asses and things going in sideways and all that, and stuffing the nuggets in there. He's definitely got a butt fetish, and to each their own. To each their own. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, exactly. Obviously, that'd be great, but if not, believe me, I totally get it. I understand. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And again, if you want some little extra, I don't know what this is, some extra details, it's the French in me. We're very, hand wavy and stuff like that. It would make sign language very difficult. Go ahead and give this a read if you want some finer details. And yeah, take care. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.